And we have a very special guest joining us as well on the phone, all the way from Heredia, Costa Rica, Mr. Dave Helmuth, who used to work here at WJTL, better known as Dave the Rave. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Fred.
So great to talk to you. What time is it in Costa Rica right now?
It is just after 5 o'clock.
Just after 5 a.m. Thank you for getting up earlier. We're going to talk about the Launch 61. Dave started Ad Lib Music. How many years ago did you start that, Dave?
Man, that was 22 years ago.
That's crazy. And you worked here at WJTL. You just told me your very first day on the air was overnight, September 3rd, 1998.
Yep.
That's crazy.
A different era.
It was a different era. Well, thank you for joining us today on the phone. We're talking to Dave Helmuth, the leader and founder of Ad Lib Music, and something that's called the Launch 61. Dave, what is the Launch 61 all about?
So the Launch 61 it's a gap year program that we're having here in Costa Rica. And so if Costa Rica is interesting to you, if worship is interesting, if you're serving in worship, if missions and community, and you have no idea what you're going to do in the fall, and you just graduated from high school, or you're a couple of years out of high school, this could be a super fun experience to help you launch into life.
And you have a real passion for developing leaders in worship, and that's what Ad Lib Music is all about. So when people come to the Launch 61, how are you going to infuse this worshipness into them?
Well, so, our family is a worshiping family. We host worship times regularly at our house. And so you'll join our culture as a family that is a worshiping musician culture. And then we are, the experiences that we'll have will be with other discipleship schools, other ministries here you'll get a chance to serve with. And we'll go out and we'll actually coach other worship teams here in Costa Rica. So you'll get really hands-on experience in training people, but also in being trained and learning together and just sharing life. Learning. When you graduate high school, you don't necessarily know how to do life on your own yet. And so this will be a real experience to get you, to do laundry, to do cleaning, to do maintenance. And then to learn more deeply about biblical worship and all those components.
So you guys live on a goat farm?
Yeah, yeah. It's a unique place. It's a 25-acre goat farm up in the mountains of Costa Rica. So it's, you talk about weather. It's 55 to 75 degrees all year round here, kind of in that sweet spot. Because of the elevation, it's a real steady, beautiful temperature, there's about 75 or so goats that live here with us.
That's awesome. We're talking to Dave Rave Helmuth. He's talking about the Launch 61. If you're looking for an opportunity for a gap year program, something that could just feed your passion for worship. Now, Dave, when you're talking about worshipers, are you looking for musicians, singers? What are you looking for?
Yeah, primarily if you're already interested or involved in worship ministry. So it could be anything from a tech to a drummer to a singer. You don't have to be a worship leader per se, but if you're interested in and involved in worship ministry, that's who we're looking for.
How can people sign up? How can they get more information?
Our website is simply thelaunch61.com. And there's a lot of information there, including, why it's valuable to go on a gap year. I think some people might think, well, gosh, does that make sense for me to skip a year of college to do something else? And the research is clear that, you come out of high school and sometimes you're a little bit burned out. And so, taking a purposeful gap year can be really a way to set you up to launch back into college.
Check it out online, thelaunch61.com. We're going to talk more with Dave coming up. We'll find out why it's called the Launch 61, but you can get more info in the meantime. Dave, since we're doing Throwback Thursday DJ favorites, and you were a DJ here at WJTL, you've chosen Earthsuit. Why Earthsuit for a song for Throwback Thursday?
Oh man, I remember seeing Earthsuit live at LMH, and it wrecked my life. Like the grooves, the rhythm, just their approach was so out of the box. I mean, they were so ahead of their time; it was ridiculous. So I've just always loved their music and that styling.
All right, we're going to veer off course from the Fred playlist. We're going to play Dave the Rave song Earth Suit on the way next on this Throwback Thursday. And joining us again from his home in Costa Rica, our friend Dave Helmuth, talking with us. He's the leader and founder of Ad Lib Music, and we're talking about the Launch 61. It's a 9-month gap year program. It's being led by professional worship coach Dave Helmuth, and it's an opportunity for you if you've graduated from high school recently and you're looking for a plan for your life. And Dave, welcome again. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning, Fred.
So great to have you on the radio on this Throwback Thursday. Love that Earth Suit song you picked. Thank you for doing that.
You got it.
All right, it's called the Launch 61. Why is it called the Launch 61?
So one of the guiding scriptures that we've had as a family since we came to Costa Rica 5 years ago is Isaiah 61. It talks about, you've set us to bind up the brokenhearted, and it lists all these things that we're to do. But the kind of the culmination of that in verse 3 says that they are a planting of the Lord for the display of His splendor. In other words, God has put us somewhere, and we all have a place that we are assigned to, but it's for the purpose of displaying His splendor, of being about Him, and of sharing who we are with the world. And so that's kind of the idea behind the launch is it's a launch, but not just into life. It's a launch into being a planting of the Lord for the display of His splendor.
So as part of the Launch 61, I know folks are going to learn about music, about leadership, about finances, about being a part of the community, about biblical worship. But I understand there's also going to be a big hike across Costa Rica. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Costa Rica is a thin strip. It's an isthmus. It's not an island. A lot of people think it's an island. It's an isthmus. That's your word for the day. And which is a thin strip of land between two bodies of water. Well, it's between two bodies of water, the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. And so there's actually a hike. It's a 175-mile hike from one coast to the other coast, and it takes about 16 days to do that. And that's going to be kind of one of the big experiences that we're going to push ourselves to do, because that's a pretty it's a pretty significant thing. So we'll be prepping for that. Doing exercises daily, and so that we can do that hike, and it goes through indigenous regions, beautiful highs, beautiful lows, crossing rivers. I mean, it's going to be, and it's a guided, professionally guided tour, and they take care of all the details of where you're going to sleep and carrying your stuff and giving you food, and so it's going to be a really, really transformative experience.
The Launch 61 is a 9-month gap year program. Dave, make your pitch. If you want people to come, what do they need to do to be part of this program?
Yeah, well, see, everybody's gonna launch into life, but to launch well, you have to have a good foundation, and the launch, an experience like the Launch 61 is going to help really set them up to launch well into life. If you remember back to when you graduated from high school, you didn't know anything. You didn't know what you didn't know. Your confidence was at a certain level, and this is an experience that's going to really raise that confidence and establish you firmly, not only in life and some practical skills, but really in the Lord. So the launch61.com is our website. It'd be great to. You can. It'll answer a lot of your questions if you go there and see kind of what we're all about and how the system works. You can click on the the button in the corner to get in touch with us, and we'll reach out and start a conversation.
If this 9-month gap program in Costa Rica sounds like something you are interested in, please visit the launch61.com online and get more information today. Dave, it was a joy to talk to you on this Throwback Thursday. Thank you so much for getting up early and calling us from Costa Rica.
You bet. It's my pleasure.
Have a wonderful day. Great talking with you.
Thanks. You too.